Hi everyone, so for today's project I'm going to show you how to put together this little packaging I made using the ScanNCut for this chocolate heart shaped lollipop that I picked up in Morrison's. It's in the Free From range. This little cutting file I designed in Canvas, but I just thought I'd show you how I put it together, and it will be available to purchase in my online Stampin' Up shop here at applelover53.co.uk. If you click on shop and then go down to cutting file shop, you'll be able to find the file. And then I've also got a card to make to go with it. So if you want to see how I made both projects, keep watching. I've created this file in Canvas Workspace. I actually used the Canvas Workspace for computer for this file so that I could use the positioning of my dashed fold lines using the X and Y coordinates, and I have transferred the file over via Wi-Fi. So now I'm going to show you how I'm going to retrieve the file and then cut this little project. So I've got the ScanNCut machine on, and I'm going to go to retrieve data, and I'm going to go from Canvas Workspace because that's where I created the file, and it should bring up all the elements that I've just saved. So I'm going to save it into the memory of the machine, and then I just know at least I've got a copy there if I want to create any more of these. So that's saving. So it's told me it's saved it into the machine's memory, so I'm going to say OK. So here are all my elements. So I'm going to load up a mat with various bits of cardstock and try and cut this all at the same time. OK, so I've loaded up my mat with some different bits of card, which I'll show you in a minute, but I'm going to do a background scan. So I'm just going to zoom in on the screen because I want to position these elements that you can see here on the ScanNCut machine on these pieces of card that are on my mat. So I'm just going to say OK and get to the background scan icon and press start. So that's going to take the mat through the machine and scan the 4 pieces that I've got on this mat, and then I can position them, and then I can show you how I'm going to cut them. Okay, so I'm not sure how well you're going to see them on screen, but I'm going to drag this piece over onto my white piece of card, assuming that my white piece of card is actually big enough. And then I've got 2 hearts down here at the bottom. I'm just going to go into edit and grab them and move them using the arrow keys, because sometimes I find, especially on this SDX 2200, I can't always grab small pieces and move them. So I'm going to say OK for that. Use the arrows to get my next heart, and that one's a slightly bigger heart, so it's letting me grab hold of that one. Now I just want to zoom in and see if this piece of white card is actually big enough for this shape I've got on here. I think it is, but it's not easy obviously seeing white cardstock on a white mat. So I'm zooming into 400% and I think I've got it OK. So I'm going to say OK, 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 select and cut, and then I'm going to press start, and hopefully all these elements will cut in one go. Okay, so that's finished. So I'm just going to unload my mat and remove the elements. So I'm just going to turn the mat over because this is a fairly new mat and it's still quite sticky in places. So I don't need this mat again, so I'm just going to put the cover back on it and hang it up so it's out of the way. Just bringing in some ribbon. So this is scrap and this is scrap and so is that. I've got a couple of circles there that I can use on another project if I want to, and I've got my little bits. So just going to grab my bone folder and I'm just going to burnish the fold lines that the ScanNCut has put in for me. I'm going to bring in my lollipop and just make sure that that fits okay, and it does. So this little element is going to sit on the front. Just got a little bit of paper showing there. So that's going to sit just on the front and I'm just going to glue that flat. So that's going to sit like this, and then my little hearts are going to go on the front, and I'm going to pop this inside now. I'm just going to put a glue dot on there and a glue dot on there, and then pop this inside so that the bottom of my plastic bag that the lollipop came in just butted up to this fold line that I put in on the ScanNCut machine. And the little glue dot should hold it in place, although I've put it in the wrong place. So it needs to be down here because I forgot I've got the big hole in the middle. Just to hold it in place, that's all I'm trying to do, keep the chocolate from sliding around. I mean, you could put a glue dot on each corner as well if you wanted to. Maybe I'll do that just for a little bit of extra reinforcement, but I don't think you need to go to a lot of trouble with something like this because at the end of the day, you know, it's just going to get ripped open, isn't it? So let's just pop that like that and that like that. Then my little heart, I want to stamp my greeting and put my little heart on, and I've got 2 lots of ribbon, so I'm going to decide which ribbon to use. So I'm using a Wish for Everything, which is available in my Stampin' Up shop, and this stamp set is 2 lots of stamps as one set. It's great, and it literally just about covers everything you could want. So I've got a piece of scrap here, and I'm going to, there's a Valentine's in here somewhere. There we go, Valentine. So I just need to find that. That's there. And there should be a happy. And that's down there. So I'm just going to stamp these in black. There you go. And then I'm just going to cut these out and make them small. that's my happy. And then I'm going to do the same with the Valentines. Get rid of all my bits. So let's bring this in now. So I think I'll stick this one here. So I might actually make use of where I'd put that glue dot. So I'll pop this little glue dot onto the back of there. Pop that on. Then this one I'm going to pop up on dimensionals, mini dimensionals in. Pop that one there, and then these can just go maybe across here, like so. So I'll pop those up, I think, as well. Just put one little mini dimensional on the back of them. Doesn't matter that I'm using black dimensionals, it's just what I've got to hand. So we'll pop that there, like so. That one there, like that. And then it's just a case of choosing some ribbon, and I think I'll use this one, what's this? This might be retired now, I'm not sure. What's it called? Just metallic ribbon, 3/8 of an inch, and I think it's Blushing Bride and gold from memory, but I could be wrong. So I'm just going to chop a piece off. This is probably going to be far too long, but turn the bow over hopefully so that I've got both sides of the gold showing. And I'll just trim off the tails, and there it is. So my little Valentine's quick chocolate lollipop project. And these chocolate lollipops I picked, well, this chocolate lollipop I picked up in Morrison's, and it's in the Free From range. Okay, so for the card, I am using the Stitched So Sweetly dies, and I've used the second largest and the smallest one. I'm using the Greeting from A Wish for Everything, and it's just a little reminder that you are loved. And then my card is going to be actually really quite simple, but I'm kind of going all out with the speciality papers. So I'll show you what I've got. I've got a piece of real red cardstock, which I've cut down the middle on the short side, scored and folded. I've got a piece of basic white cardstock, which is going to go on the inside, and I've got a scrap of the paper that I'm going to be using, which is the beautiful paper from the Artistically Inked, and that's just going to go on the inside. So I'll stick that together now. And as I said, this was just a scrap that was in my packet. It's just not quite wide enough, but I'm going to use it and just leave like a little gap on either end and a gap at the bottom, so it kind of looks as though I've purposely done that. And then I'm just going to stick this on the inside of my card, like so. So what I've done, I've cut a piece of the Artistically Inked paper, and I'm doing all pink and gold for this card. So I've chosen the side with the pink and the gold fleck going through it. And this piece of paper has been cut at 5 3/8 by 3 7/8. So I'm going to layer that onto the front and just centralise it as best I can. Then from the Stitch So Sweetly dies, I've used the biggest and the next biggest down, and then I've also cut the smallest, which is going to be for my greeting. So these two are going to layer up. This is Blushing Bride, and I know there's various shades of pink here. I think the pink that's in this paper might be Polish Pink, I can't remember. And then I've got the pink, which is the rose gold and gold speciality paper. And then I've also got the pink glitter card, which is from the new January to June summer catalogue. And if you got my paper share, you'll have a 6x6 piece of this. And then I've got some of our gold foil card. So I'm just kind of using shades of pink and gold. So I'm going to layer these two up and put this on the front of the card. So I'm just going to stick the white one down centrally, and then I'm going to pop this up on dimensionals. So these are just two very simple, quick projects. You know, you don't have to use them for Valentine, just maybe use the layout or the, you know, the idea. So I'm going to position this in the middle, and then I'm going to position my hearts. I'm just going to stick them. And I think what I might do, I might pop two of them up and lay two of them flat. So I might do this one flat, like so, and pop this one up on a dimensional. Then stick the other gold one flat. And you know, you can do them at different heights or whatever you want to do. I'm just giving you a basic idea. And then do that one. So that's like that. Then I'm just going to bring in the label that I've already pre-die cut. Get my greeting, bring a block in. And I'm just going to use Memento Tuxedo Black, I think, for this. Or I could use one of the pinks. I have actually cut two of these labels, so I could maybe do one in pink and one in black and see how it looks. So that's that one. Just going to clean off the stamp. And let's see what we've got. We'll try polished pink. So bring in some polished pink, ink this one up, and see how this one looks. Just clean this off again, and then it's a case of which one do I use. Should I use the black one or should I use the pink one? I might stick with the pink one, keep it all pink, because then I've got some little red rhinestones that I'm going to pop around and that will tie the card in. So let's do this. We'll do this on a dimensional. Pop this maybe like so. I've also got a ribbon, which I'm thinking I might add. You know, if we're going to go all out glitz and sparkle, might as well have a ribbon as well. So I'm going to see if I've got any glue dots left and pop this on with a glue dot. If I just pop that and then put my ribbon. Everything I've used will be listed underneath the YouTube video and in the accompanying blog post. So I'll, you know, there'll be direct links to all the products that I've used. And I'll just bring in my Take Your Pick tool, just wind some putty out of it. And once you start to see the putty coming out the end, you just release it off. And then throw in a few of these red rhinestones, I think. So that's my two little Valentine's projects. As I say, simple little cutting file for this chocolate heart. Again, I've used some foil and of the glitter card that I cut with my ScanNCut for those. And that's my matching card to go with it. So that's my little Valentine's project. So I hope you liked the video. Please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you don't already do so. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.